Hey everybody, hope you're doing well. Today we're going to be talking about laborers in the construction industry. We are having a big issue right now with wages. And I know that when I started as a laborer 10 years ago, I was making about $10 an hour. And you know what? It wasn't that bad at that time. I was young and I was able to make enough to live on. I had minimal expenses. But nowadays, even though the increase in pay is where I live, it's roughly to $14 to $15 an hour what laborers are getting paid. And I can drive down the street and I see you can go to a fast food restaurant and make $16.50 an hour. And I don't know about you guys, but me, if I was just coming out of high school and just needed a job or maybe even a summer job while I was in high school, I'd probably choose the working at a fast food restaurant than being a laborer because it's some tough work being a laborer. You're just hauling garbage back and forth all the time. You're just dirty and you're ruining your clothes, and it's some tough work. And to get paid less than working in fast food, not to say that that's not dirty work either. That's some dirty work as well. But I know from my past, when I first started in this industry, I was a laborer. I would just help out with family and friends on projects that they had, and a lot of the work that came my way was just dirty labor work, just hauling buckets of cement, debris out to a dumpster, throwing it in a dumpster, or just moving materials back and forth. And by the end of the day, I remember I was whipped. I mean, I'd get home and I'd just lay on the couch, done, completely done for the day, and that was earning the money. Um, Nowadays, with where it's at, with the prices and everything, I just don't know if I just don't know if it would weigh out, and it's going to be a problem. I mean, who's going to choose to do something like that when you can go find a different job that's a lot easier? There's got to be some sort of incentives to bring people into the industry. I would say that being told that you're just going to be picking stuff up and throwing it into a different spot and getting dirty is not incentive enough. There needs to be maybe a track to where people can go from labor into carpenter or whatever other trade that they're going to be working in, if it's plumbing, electric, you name it. But I think you really have to incentivize people to show them that, yeah, you're going to be doing the work right now that's dirty and isn't the best and doesn't take a lot of skill, but if you stick around, we'll teach you some stuff, and if you start getting some tools, then you can maybe become a carpenter or name your trade. And I think that's what has happened sometimes in the past, but I just don't think enough. I think a lot of people just get treated like grunts when they become a laborer, and nobody's really pushing them to want to get better and become skilled, because in this industry there's some weird dynamic where everyone thinks they're the best and they don't want anyone else to outshine them, I guess. Maybe it's a weird industry, but like I said, I just think that we need to come up with some ways to really bring people into the fold of the trades. And unfortunately, a lot of it starts out with having to do the dirty work. I mean, you're just going to have to do the dirty work. It's the only way that you can truly appreciate the skilled finish work or framework or doing mathematics, a lot of the things that come with being somebody in the trades. It's you're working on people's homes or big commercial buildings, and you have to be trusted with what you're putting on there. There's inspectors that will come out and check your work, but that's a whole different video. We could talk about inspectors and how they're just sometimes you get really good inspectors, and sometimes you get somebody off the street that doesn't really care, and that's a problem. But yeah, if people were incentivized more to really join at the bottom level, I think that we'd have a lot more people that would be making it further through the ranks, and we wouldn't have so many people choosing other jobs. And honestly, I think the pay needs to increase. I mean, it is just dirty labor work, but it's hard work. It's really hard work, especially if you're working for roofers. You're just going up and down a ladder all day, carrying bundles of shingles. If you've ever done it, you know what I'm talking about. That is some tough work, and to get paid just some peanuts to do it, you can't keep people around very long doing that. And I understand, like, every business is different. There's a lot. Some people aren't getting paid a whole lot for the jobs, and they just got to get it done. It's not like every business is a big developer that can afford to have a lot of wages and hours going to their employees, and some companies, they just can't afford it. They have to have as cheap as they can find labor, people just off the street, and that's unfortunate. But that's kind of something that's been happening from the beginning of time in construction. There's the people that you find that are really cheap, and they offer you a product that's really cheap, and there's people that are expensive, and they take the time to bring in people and show them the ropes, and really teach them about how the trades is a good place to be. But back to my other videos that I posted, there is just a big issue on wages in this field. I see it every day. I'm a carpenter by trade, and I talk with other carpenters and other tradesmen that come to my jobs about it all the time, about how there's just not enough money. You peak out at a point, and you're either forced to start your own business, or you just get miserable and you stop working as hard because you're just not getting paid enough. And starting your own business isn't all that it's cracked up to be. You're swinging a hammer all day in most cases, and then you're doing estimates at night, and then you're going home and writing up those estimates, and who knows if you're even going to get that job. Not all the time you get it, and it's just wasted time, and that just burns people out. But there's a lot of things that need to change in this field. I think it starts from even with the consumer. The consumer needs to start valuing people's skills, because I don't think they do. They don't realize how much money goes into people's tools, how much time you've spent learning everything, how much you've bled for the job and sweat. And going back to the laborers, it's starting out as that laborer, that person just hauling buckets of debris back and forth, and then over these years you start to learn how to use a tool. You start to be trusted with taking measurements. You start building things and having finished products, and all those years of experience are what people are paying for. And a lot of people just don't see that. They see it as you're just some guy off the street who happens to have some tools and is able to piece two things together. And sometimes there is those people out there that are that way, but a lot of the times there's some really good people out there. I've met a lot of people in the industry who they know what they're doing, and it's from just years and years of experience and just running into so many problems and solving them and failing and learning from all their mistakes. And I just think that we all need to come together and really bring people into being helpers. Maybe not making people think that they're just going to be hauling stuff back and forth all day. Just saying, you're going to be my helper, my apprentice, or whatever you want to label it in your company, but that you're going to bring them into the fold, and eventually you're going to teach them how to swing a hammer, read a tape measure, and build stuff and create beautiful creations for the customer. Alright, well, that's just all I wanted to say today on laborers, and if you have anything that you want to add to this, just put a comment below. Let me know what else you have to say about this topic, because it's a pretty important topic. There's a shortage of people, and we need more people getting in the trades. Alright, I'll see you on the next one.